And the question is, what is a good camera to start with, an easy camera to start with? Currently, I'm using my phone. So personally, I think that, upgrading from phones can be advantageous because it gives you more, options of things that you can do. However, phones are getting pretty close, right? Like you can do some amazing content with phones. And if you have the right lighting and things like that, in a lot of cases, a phone will do the trick for you just by itself without you having to do, add anything else to it in terms of a DSLR. So like, if you look at this camera right here, that's on the screen right now. So the difference is when you are recording with a phone, right? In that situation, like you can't just change a lens. Sure, you can get like moment lenses and things like that, where you can, make some adjustments to it. But in terms of like really fine tuning a look, if you have a look that you're trying to get, then in that situation, I wouldn't necessarily go with the easiest camera. I would go with the camera that's going to get the job done in terms of matching the look that you're trying to go for. Now, as an example, with this lens that I have on this particular camera, same lens I have on the other camera as well, basically like I can go like this, and then you can see it just like instantly snaps into it, and the background looks all cool and all of that stuff just by, and it's just doing all that stuff, really fast in real time. And that's really hard to get with a phone to where it can be that dynamic. So because of that, I would think of what kind of look am I going for and how am I actually trying to present my content? And then I'm going to build the camera around that. This camera right here is a Sony 5100. This thing right here is about $500. I think it's like 400 or $500 for this particular camera. Great looking camera. It's fast. The autofocus is the same as the one that I was showing you a minute ago. However, a difference in the two is that this lens is the difference, right? So for example, if I take this right here, it's going to do that same exact thing where it's going to zoom in, right? Now, when I zoom in on that, then one of the things that happens is that lens takes over, and that lens is what really makes this camera awesome. It's not the camera itself. The camera's good, but the lens is what makes this camera look as clear and as nice as it does. When it comes to, deciding what camera you got to get, then in that situation, you want to think, okay, I'm going to get a camera, but I also want to work a budget into my lens as well. So when it comes to an easy camera, like the Canon M50 is good if you're just using it for photo and video. I used to use one of those for my webcam, but I gave it to my girlfriend recently. But this one right here, that 5100, is the replacement for that. Also, really good camera, really easy to use, lower cost, but the lens on it. The lens costs more than the camera. Well, actually, in Thailand it did, but in the States, I'm not sure if that's where you are. But if you're in the States, this lens, I think you can get it for about like $350 now. But it's a Sigma 16 millimeter 1.4 for this particular lens. But the camera is important, but the lens is also really important. So when you're considering a camera, just look for like a Sony 5100, look for a Sony, like this one right here. This is an A6500. This one over here is an A6500. And I got these just because they were known to be good cameras. I'm not like a camera spec guy. I just asked, other YouTubers like, hey, what do you use? What kind of camera is that? Because I like that look that you have. And this lens right here was also recommended as well. So, just think of the look that you want to go with, and then think, okay, how much is it that I'm wanting to spend? So, somebody here, Christian, Ermler landscape photography vlog. Just because they have vlog in their name, that gives me another thing to think about, is depending on the type of content that you make. Also, Nairi, if you're doing vlogging content, we're going to be out in the world, then this type of camera might not be a great fit for you. Like, this is okay. I've done some vlog stuff with this with a different lens on it. But, in that situation, you might just want to get one of the new GoPros with a mic on it, because those things are fantastic also. So it really depends also on what it is that you're actually trying to do, or the type of content it is that you make on your channel.
For tools and resources to help you with your YouTube channel, make sure you check the links in the description of this video. And to have your question answered live, join us Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern.